It's difficult for people to put into words what they're feeling regarding President Trump. I know I am. I'm having a hell of a time because I keep looking at that mugshot and it kills me. I mean, it really it kills me. I can't believe what I'm seeing. I can't believe what I'm seeing. And the best part is I can't get people to understand what that means. I can't get people to follow what that means. You know what I'm saying? I can't get people to say, do you understand what they have done? Do you understand this? My friends, I welcome you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing fabulously well. Let me say to you, dear friends, that tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow is the day you've been waiting for. Tomorrow, the birthday boy, 65. I love saying that. I can't tell you how much I love saying that. I don't know why I love saying that. I don't know what it means. I'm not sure of the significance of it. Maybe there's some numerology thing to it. I doubt it. But no other sound of any kind of birthdays ever really made any sense. I don't care about 30 and all. I don't know why. It just didn't mean anything to me. It didn't mean anything to me. But this is different. I don't know why that is. But I'm so glad, dear friends, that you were with me. And I'm so glad. When did we first start this? I think it was 2009. If I don't know, if I'm not mistaken, I think we started in 2009. Does that make sense to you? Is that about right? Does that sound right to you? What the hell got in my mouth? Does that sound correct? Let me see. Let me see what I've got here. I think that's it. Well, regardless, or irregardless, as people say, I think it's 2009, I guess. No. 2006. 2006 that I started, whatever it was. And then later on, so many of you wonderful people have been along for the ride, and it's been bumpy. We've been through so much fun. We've been through so many ups and downs and this and that. Oh my God. And we have met by virtue of this. So many people, some have come, some have gone. I'm not going to tell you some of the stories, and I'm not going to embarrass anybody, but we've had some very interesting things. And what I've liked about this is that this reminds me so much about doing regular talk radio, where you say and you do things and you meet people and you get to know them and they know you, and it's fun. So that is that. But on a note that's very sad, we have to deal with what are we going to do about President Trump. But before I begin to this, I must say to you, as I always do, please like this video. I know it sounds so wimpy. Liking puts it affects the click-through stats, the CPM stats, the MOUSE stats, the this stats. It does something in which it allows people to, I guess, who knows, but it makes a big difference. So please like this. I hope you've subscribed to the channel. I hope you do. I hope you've hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new video. It means a lot. And what I'm really on to today, and I want to tell you this again, my friends, something is going to happen. I don't know what it is. I don't know where it is. I don't know. Firenadoes, tsunamis, inclement weather, manufactured weather, exacerbated weather, gain of function weather, fires everywhere, fires, floods, trains derail. Remember when trains were derailing? Supply chain breakdowns, stores closing, ransomware, gas stations, petroleum all shut down, people unable to drive, trucks, maybe more strikes, who knows, food, stores, the ability to get there. It is, I don't even have to tell you this. The idea of stored food years ago, people would say, like, what are you doing? What are you expecting? That's right, we've got our own generator. You've got your own generator. How wise is having your own generator today? Or to have water purification? But think about this. You would think, what are we in the woods? That's changed. That has changed. My friend, I want you to go to preparewithlionel.com and I want you to see for yourself. Preparewithlionel.com. And I'm telling you, I don't want to be one of these people who's a doomsayer. I don't want to sit there and say, and the end is nigh. I'm not going to say that, but dear God, do you have any idea of what is happening? Look at what is available. It's unbelievable. That's all I will tell you. So right now you can save $200 off of a 3-month emergency food supply kit, 120 pounds of a kit, 2,000 calories a day, 21 varieties, up to a 25-year shelf life. This is not, you've got to see this. And when you see how durable this is, these folks mean business. This isn't a joke. Preparewithlionel.com, preparewithlionel.com. I'm telling you, you know it, I know it, everybody knows it. I can't, I'm 65 tomorrow, and I don't know, hearing about how many fires, big fires, things destroyed en masse and then forgotten with the inability to fight them. Preparewithlionel.com. Do not get caught. Everything else you can live without. Internet maybe. Food? No. Now let's talk about a couple of things right now. What is President Trump going to do, and what are we going to do about him? How is it that we help him? How do we help him? What is it that we can do? Well, did you see all the crap he's going through? They're saying, how come he posted a bond through a bondsman? Why didn't he just pay $200,000 in cash? Is there anything else you're not going to go over? Why did he do that? Maybe he doesn't have the money. Maybe he doesn't have. Okay, maybe he doesn't. Maybe. He transferred apparently his Mar-a-Lago to his son, to Don Jr. I hope that's the best way to secure your assets of sorts. I hope this is the best way possible. I hope this makes the most sense. I don't know anything. That's not my bailiwick. But they are going to come after that. And somehow they're going to try to seize it. They're going to seize it in some kind of a government sale. And then they're going to put illegal aliens in there. They're going to make it into this big... You think I'm kidding? Tell me, let me tell you what I'm going to do. They're going to take it. They're going to fill it with more people than you can imagine. And they're going to go to Palm Beach. And they're going to tell Palm Beach, screw you, Palm Beach. Tough, you know what? Tough blank to you. Because we're going to help people. And we're going to do our best. Because these people... And you're going to say, Mar-a-Lago. And they're going to make Trump watch it. They're going to say, look at your place. This is Marjorie Merriweather Post. This is the place of this. Look at this. This is your place. Isn't that something? You like that, Don? Huh? This used to be your place. This was your pride and joy. Now look at it. How do you like that, Don? How do you like that? Must kill you to see this. Look. All these people, your beautiful place where your house was, it's gone. We own it because we've seized it. How? I don't know. We'll think of something. We've seized it. Because of what you've done. Well, because of your insurrection. Because if you're insurrection, you have done something that we're not exactly sure exactly what it was, but we are here to tell you that we're going to take everything you've got. And we're going to do it. And we're going to take it. and you can do nothing about it. How do you like that, Don? How does that make you feel? Do you feel good about that? Do you feel happy about that? Must kill you to see this. Must absolutely kill you to see what's going on here. Isn't it? Isn't it? Sorry about that, but it's true. And that's precisely what we're going to do, Don. We're going to take your stuff. We're going to take everything. And to all of you Palm Beach class, all that, this might be, if ever you want to see something that's Marxist, this might be it. Not socialist, not communist, Marxist. Oh, the destruction of the classes. We want to take your name, everything that says Trump. We'll pass a law that says you can't use that name because it is somehow associated with that of a felon. And because of that, we will take away your ability to even use your beloved name. How do you like that? How do you like that, Don? Must feel terrible. We want to take everything about you because now we just enjoy this. You see, at first it was about, well, kind of, sort of, maybe it was a little bit about, law and order, but no, we found out that we're sadists and we actually enjoyed this. And we enjoy this more than we could ever imagine. It's the damnedest thing. We are enjoying this so much and with such, I don't know what the word is, but with such fun, for lack of a better word, that we just don't know. We just don't know. We don't know what to say. We don't know what to call it. And we don't know, and this is very interesting too, because we don't know how to, I guess, figure new ways to destroy everything about your life. You may think you think I'm exaggerating. You may think, oh, this guy's really going crazy. Oh, no. This is sadism. Pure, absolute, unequivocal sadism. And as I've told you before, it's up to Donald Trump to do everything in his power to get out of that thing and fast. Seriously, get away, get out of this. Try your best to sever yourself from your fellow defendants and do everything in your power to get the hell out of Dodge. Seriously, honest to God. This is, I don't know how to tell you this. This is serious, serious business. Serious business. And the thing that's also interesting about all this stuff is that right now there are other things I want to bring to your attention, and this is very important. And I want you to focus on this because don't look too much on this because it's important, but it's over. The mugshot's gone and whatever it is. Listen to this, and this is very important. I have I think it's very interesting. I have a private channel. And on my private channel, I did some interesting. Did you know that U.S. Customs and Border Protection employees received an agency email on Tuesday honoring the National Breast and Chest Feeding Month? Breast and chest feeding. But employees say they have yet to receive any significant message regarding the department's relief or recovery efforts in the deadly Maui wildfire. According to a source within the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, the Biden administration has thus far focused more on tailoring traditional messaging to accommodate the woke radical left, failing to order the U.S. flag lowered to half-staff in honor of those who perished or remain missing in Maui. There are, I read, some people are thinking, up to 2,000 children missing. Now, this has to be verified. But let me say this again. 2,000. Can you believe this? When the president was asked about President Trump's mugshot, he smile, handsome guy or something. You and your son, especially with Victor Shokin, who today was reported, said, yeah, it was bribery. Yep. It's unbelievable. I don't know where again. And my friends, one of the biggest stories, there are two stories that I get nowhere on YouTube. Two stories. I try my best, but I get nowhere. For reasons, I don't know, maybe. One of them is AGI. Nobody's interested in that. I mean, they are, but it's like, I don't think they really understand it. I don't think they really kind of get it. I don't think they get it. I'm not sure. I don't think they really grasp the notion of this whole thing. And that's very, very sad, because it is probably the most important issue of them all. And nobody's really be able to grasp this yet, because for reasons that I don't know, maybe because it might be maybe too tough. That makes any sense? Because it's too tough. I don't know. I can't say. Now, the other issue is what happened with BRICS. You can forget this one. You can forget this one. Try explaining this to anyone. And I've tried. And I'm trying to say, do you understand what happened? You've got what, 5 new countries: Saudi Arabia, Emirates. I forgot. Do people know what BRICS is? No. Do you know what? Do they have any clue as to what? This is so funny. So what's happening? You have Africa is the continent now. Is in essence, Africa is a bounty, a beauteous, perfect, incredible, overflowing bounty of minerals, natural, you name it. It is a trove, a treasure trove. It is a repository of some of the most incredible stuff anybody has ever seen anywhere. There is simply nothing even remotely like it. Nowhere. And what's so interesting with all this stuff, and I find this kind of sort of, maybe interesting, is that there are revolutions going on right now. I'm trying to go through this very slowly. I'm trying to think. I'm not trying to dumb it down because you're not dumb. I'm trying to make it simple. There are revolutions going on in Niger and countries that you've never heard of before, where countries that have for the longest time been basically beholden to us, unquestioning to us. They have now been and are in effect being toppled by folks, by revolutions, by groups of people, by coups, where everything is changing. I mean, huge structures, even tomato importation and the like, export, import. It's the most incredible thing anybody's ever seen. It's changed. Just everything's changing. And guess who's stepping in? China, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Brazil's tough because they're a little bit, they basically want to trade, and they want to trade like everybody else without the immiseration that is caused by these forced Western hegemony, these laws that make you comply, and you must become beholden to the IMF, to the World Bank. And they've said enough of this. They want to trade in cooperation. Putin came in and said, we'll take care of you. We are the grain. They say that this area, Ukraine in particular, but Russia, it's all the same sort of place. They said you could leave a boot. The expression is you could leave a boot, an old boot or shoe in the middle of the land, come back, I don't know how many days later or whatever it is, and there's trees growing out of it. It is so fertile, so fecund. Everything is changing drastically, and they are disgusted with Western hegemony, and they are thoroughly disgusted with Joe Biden. And they're all met, and they're saying, can you believe this guy? This is happening right now. And you'll never hear those words uttered. Never on any TV show. Never Larry Kudlow. Never. You'll just never. It's like they just don't exist because we're the United States and they're not, and screw you and all that sort of stuff. And when I tell people, my message is very simple. I can't help you with this. You can, there's so much wonderful stuff. You know, The Rising is very good. It's very, very good. They try to give you a good kind of an to explain this. And I'm telling people, you're going to have to learn this. I've never seen anything like it. There's something about America. There's something about Americans in particular who do not want to learn anything about anything. They want it to be thrown at them. They want to sit back in their beanbag chair and just wait for it to be just dumped on you. And then maybe then they'll sort of, I guess, maybe care about this, I guess. I've never seen anything in the world like this. And when AI and AGI kicks in, there you do understand that nobody is even remotely pretending to care about how it's maintained, whether there's any alignment criteria that we can agree with, anything where we can all reach out and say, wait a minute, before we, China, us, can we reach out? No, nobody's thought about it. Nobody cares about it. Nobody thinks about it. Nobody anything. None of it. It's next. You are going to see, and this is the part that nobody talked about the other night. Not even Vivek, the fake. Mr. Fast talking, I'm a kind of a Trump light. He's basically like a Trump. You know, they kept Larry Elder out of that. Larry Elder qualified in everywhere, and they just basically said, we don't want you to be there. They basically said he's almost like tantamount to a terrorist. I'm not kidding you. But none of this was brought up by Vivek. You've got these morons. You've got basically sellouts. Do you understand? Like Nikki Haley, who are hoping to get on that Raytheon board or whatever it is, and they're just spouting this nonsense regarding Russia and NATO, and it makes me sick. Wonky Man says, recruiting desperate people to build a factory to produce the jackets, blue jeans, tennis shoes, automobile parts, computer components, and many, many more. Absolutely. But not only that, Wonky Man. And by the way, thank you very much for your kindness and your benevolence, I should say. Not only that, we have decided that everything's going to be the petrodollar, the SDR, the special drawing rights, they're saying no. And right now you've got MBS, Mohammed bin Salman. You got Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping had a line, he said. He said basically what they're saying is that the West, when they say the West, it means us, but the West, they are so rude. They say there's an expression. He said, I'm paraphrasing, the West does not know yet that blowing out your neighbor's lantern doesn't make their world brighter. I like that. Blowing out your neighbor's lantern doesn't make your world brighter. You don't have to go and destroy other countries for you to enjoy prominence or whatever. This is the way they're thinking. Listen to what they say. Listen to these countries. It's the most fat. Of course, you're not going to hear this. And what's good about this is you have YouTube that'll allow you to do this. The country of Eritrea in East Africa. This fascinating. Have you heard, by the way, what people think regarding gay rights in Uganda? And oh my God. Whoa. Now, let me tell you something. This scares me. Remember, I've got no beef, again, that's a weird phrase, against gay folks. Not at all. None. Whether children are indoctrinated is a different story, but I mean, live and let live, I don't care. That is up to you. Do you hear what they say? It's unbelievable. Do you hear what Carlos Santana said about gay folks? Do you hear what Alice Cooper said about it? Do you hear about Carlos Santana? LGBTQ. This one got me. He makes an anti-trans. This is from Billboard. Carlos Santana says transgender people should stay in the closet. I want to honor and respect all persons' ideals and beliefs, whether they are LGBT or not, he later said in a statement. Well, that's kind of interesting. He apologized, he said, for intensive comments about the trans community. He realizes that what he said hurt people. This was a clip circulating online recently of Santana performing in Atlantic City, where the star stopped during the show to share his thoughts on the transgender experience. He says, when God made you and me, before we came out of the womb, you know who you are and what you are. He said, later on, when you grow out of it, you see things and you start believing that you could be something that sounds good, but you know it ain't right. Because a woman is a woman and a man is a man, he says. Now, also, this is, now later on he said, oh, I'm sorry. First of all, you're not sorry. I'm sorry to hurt somebody. He's like, no, I'm sorry I got caught. I guess maybe, he's Carlos Santana. Now, first of all, let me just say something to you. And we've always got to stop. And please let us stop. Friends, we come in peace. Here at Lionel Nation, we have a very simple belief. What you do as an adult is up to you. We accept you. We don't care. We may not like, you don't have to like. By the way, freedom, I don't like anybody. You can hate them. You can, in your heart, hate white people, black people, Jews, Catholics, women. I don't care. That is your right. The right to hate is yours. However, the right to discriminate, no. However, discrimination is a very strange thing. It's a very strange thing. Sometimes discrimination is very hard to say. For example, a man who is a man, physically, biologically, but yet considers himself transgender, who dresses or whatever it is, wants to go into a bathroom, into a public restroom where there are women, and they look at him and go, that's a man. That's a man dressed in a dress or whatever it is. No, get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, no, excuse me. I'm transgender. Well, that may be fine. Now, do you mean to tell me that people, right? I can't believe we're even going through this again. But do you mean to tell me that the women in the bathroom have no say? Of course they have a say. Sorry, they outvote you. That's the way that goes. Sorry, maybe we can have different accommodations, but you're not You're not going to tell women who are freaking out that there's a man in the ladies' room. I'm sorry. And you know it. I know it. We all know it. It's one of those things. I'm sorry. Now, if I have to explain that to you, if you're going to get your panties in a wad over that, then you must like the argument. That just makes complete and total sense. Other than that, does it matter? No. Okay. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. Now, let me tell you what's going to happen. Here's the latest story. You do know that masks are coming back, right? You do know this. And they're coming back. And Mrs. L was watching, I think it was, she happened to be catching, what was it, Drew Barrymore's show or something? People in the audience have a mask on. And I'm thinking, why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? Well, it's interesting. Very interesting. Why are they doing that? We're also hearing that going back to school, students, I think at Rutgers and others, many places, they're told you're going to have to be boosted and vaxxed and all of that stuff. Do you understand this? Does this make sense to you? You will be boosted and vaxxed, and you can't say anything about this. Do you understand that? That's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. What are you going to do about that? Well, I'm not going to. Okay, here we go to that again. That's coming again. Get ready. But here's the best one. And listen to me. And listen good. The Biden administration, don't even call them the Biden administration. Just call it the administration. Because whoever's in next is going to follow the same thing. It's the administration. Okay? The administration. The administration is going to be asked, and they're being asked to do this, and they're tempting you with this. They're saying to you as follows. We want you, by virtue of a series of, some of them, I think 1976, a series of statutes that provide you with emergency powers. We've been through this before, and if ever you want to put somebody to sleep, talk about separation of powers, some of the most important doctrinal aspects of our country. And people don't understand because it's not sexy enough for them, I guess. But it is, believe me. And they are going to tell you that EV cars, wind turbines, the cancellation of travel, the limitation, what am I trying to say? The reduction of carbon movement, whatever the hell you want to call it. Name it. And eventually quarantines. Quarantines either by virtue of, but let me, the quarantine is going to be tough, but they'll figure it out. We're talking about this through climate change. This is climate change. It is happening. NBC said people are demanding it. If you are in the on the left and you are being told by your handlers, we want you to be the leading spokesperson in EV stuff, you are going to make a fortune, but you're going to get on the back end. Wait, you do this thing now. Do it now for us. Trust me. Be the voice of this. You be the voice. You be the voice. All of a sudden, there's this cacophony. You are set for life. And they always come through. Let's see what happens after. Sometimes you get paid during. See, what you do is, you do like Nancy Pelosi. You know her husband, Paul? Hey, whatever happened to that guy who had a hammer? Was Paul Pelosi, was he doing anything nefarious with that young man who he let into his home? Well, excuse me, who broke into his home? Who hammered poor Paul? And thank God he's okay. Anything ever happened with that one? Yeah. You know Lahaina is forgotten, right? You do know that, right? Everybody know that? Do you understand that? Yes. It's already forgotten. What did I tell you? It's forgotten. But when Nancy Pelosi and remember Maxine Waters, she did it and other people do. You get your husband or your wife or your spouse or somebody, and they become, see, Paul Pelosi becomes, he's an investment genius. Yeah. He does the money. He does the stuff. You're told IPOs, not insider trading per se, but put it this way, good tips. And you, by virtue of who you are able to avail yourself of so much stuff. Did you see where Bob Menendez from New Jersey, senator, they said that he and his wife unloaded between $200,000 and $400,000 in gold bullion. Did you see that? So let me tell you what's going on here. I'm throwing stuff at you. I'm throwing this at you. There's so much. You've got bricks. You're not going to recognize this country. I'm telling you, you're not. You're not. Today they mentioned ceiling fans, and they always want to catch you off guard. That's it. They want to keep you off guard. Now, the other night during that stupid debate, did anybody talk about anything that really got your attention? No. Vivek was the only one who basically, by virtue of taking Trump's position to a lot of stuff. And by the way, he's not perfect. When Trump said to Tucker the other day, well, I don't know, maybe Epstein committed suicide. Please stop it. Please. For the love of God, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I don't know if he's scared. I don't know if maybe somebody told him, don't bring up if anybody tells you about it. Because, you're on that plane too. He's one of your Palm Beach buddies. I don't know. You don't think that's possible? You don't think it's possible for Trump? Come on. I don't know. But I can tell you something else which is important, which is critical for me to tell you. And this is important. And I want you to understand this. What happened the other night with Trump on X is so important and so critical. They're doing everything in their power. On, I think it was on Drudge today. They said that Fox News' debate just blew the ratings out, blew them out of the water. Did you see that? Blew them out of the water, Just it was the most incredible. Oh my God! It just unbelievable. Oh my God! Now, why would they be touting and lauding this notion about Fox News? They hate Fox News. Why would they be doing that? Because it's a collective effort to try to bolster this thing called cable news. Because cable news is dead. Do you remember? Let me ask you something, dear friends. Do you remember in your life, based upon how old you are, if there were events that happened in your life where you said, hey, I remember when that changed. Like, I remember when it went from this to this. Who remembers CDs? Not CDs, not even DVDs, but a CD. Remember CD? They call them CDs. Remember when CDs came out? Remember that one? You had a CD. I think they called them CDs, right? Yeah, CDs. You go to the store and you go, look at this. Had the shiny, that big plastic, thing. Is like, what is this damn thing? You crack it open, and there's this big thing there. Look at this thing. Look at it. What the hell is that? What is this? There it was. Did you see this? 8 tracks. 8 tracks. Did you ever put that little matchbook in there just to kind of straighten it up? But you remember when there was this new thing, and all of a sudden you say, what do I do with these albums? Well, it turns out albums, I think, ultimately are better, but very few people are into the whole vinyl thing. It's a long story. But I remember when that said, this changes everything. And it was also great when you were moving. Remember when you would move someplace? Now, you take all these CDs or whatever. I don't even want to, who needs them? You've got Spotify, you've got all that kind of stuff. Speakers. But we saw this, and I was there. I thought, I remember this. It's like, look at this. I remember cable. watching WCW. Actually, it was Georgia Championship Wrestling. with my great friend Gordon Soley from WTBS Superstation on cable. I couldn't believe it. I'm watching Georgia, and this is incredible. This is the most incredible thing in the world. This cable. We're watching. Look at this. This is a Georgia commercial. I know, because we live right here. Lived right here. It's the most incredible thing in the world. I said, this is changes everything. When people said cable was great because in Florida you had lightning and you had, those antennas and they were always getting hit. Well, cable was the most, look at the clarity of this thing. And then you can say, wait, you're going to have to buy it? Oh, no, nobody's going to buy this. Nobody's going to pay for cable. What are you talking about? They loved it. They loved it. Then they got more than one. I got Showtime. I got this. I got that. Fantastic. Things that changed everything. HVC, home, QVC, and home shopping, and remember that? That was Amazon. Before anybody knew it, you can buy stuff at home. I know people who went out of their minds with that stuff. They bought stuff. They said, "What is this? What are you buying?" I saw it. I saw it as clear. I said, you're seeing this. This isn't just QVC. This isn't just whatever. This is the future. This is the harbinger of something else. This is bigger than anything anybody's ever seen before. This changes everything. Home recording studios, or being able to have a recording studio on a laptop. The idea of going to here in kind of Hell's Kitchen, but in the area, the power station was here, and then Electric Ladyland at one point was La Barbès on 57th Street. And there's all these great studios where they were. And remember, they had this show called what was it called? Like West 54th Street or West 57th, whatever it was, years ago at PBS. That was around here. They right around, not too far from us, was where they had these studios where they actually did The Exorcist. 57th Street. This was like, there were all these studios. I remember one time seeing the Doobie Brothers recording something at this thing. That's gone now. I don't need to go to this. I don't need to go to these studios. I don't need to go there. Did you ever hear Leland Sklar on Rick Beato? They were talking about it. He says, they don't even want me to come to the studio anymore. Everything's changed. It's drastic. Music's still there. Studios went away. Amazon changed everything. Amazon changed everything. Every apartment building, every domestic or a residential apartment or co-op or condo or whatever it is nothing but a mailboxes, etc. It's just basically a place for people to get stuff delivered. That's all it is. There's the doorman is over, the front. It is nothing but people processing and checking in all of the Amazon boxes coming in. That's all it is. It changed everything. My point for this very long-winded speech is we saw something last night, and I saw it. I said, this is the end of everything. This is the end of everything. And what it is was not necessarily the end of good interviewing. No. It wasn't the end of political commentary. No. But on my little phone or on my iPad, I could see, and it's free. They're going to get around that eventually, which is fine. But I'm watching something, and I'm watching this thing, these numbers. They said, hey, Trump's back on Twitter. Trump's back. I'm watching this. Now, whether it's true or not, I don't even know. Elon Musk may say, just do the thing, whether it's just because it follows every bit of psychology there is from the way it works in what am I trying to tell you? slot machines. And remember, the slot machine, that was lights, sound. They took in the old slot machine, surgical steel, to make the sound of the pans where the quarters would fall. Loud. Ding, 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 ding. Flashing. No clock. This is all done on purpose. You're looking at these people, this stupid. Did you see they had these? They actually had this room full of people. I don't know who they were. I'm sure they're nice people. They were sitting in this room. And they asked them, well, what did you think about it? Who do you think won? How many think? So-and-so won. 1, 2, 3. That's 4. Thinking, what are we doing? I'll tell you exactly. I've got a device here. I'm looking at millions. And then they were like, well, no. See, that's an unfair gauge. Because Twitter, it's not, you see, Twitter, yeah, it says 10 million. It doesn't mean they're what. It just means it came to they saw it. They didn't really see it. What? What are you talking about? No, I mean, it's that. I loved it. And there are those of us who say, I don't like big screens. I don't want to sit in a room with a bunch of people. They asked somebody the other night, the Republican Club has a watch party. Do you want to go to a watch party? I don't. With a bunch of jadrules, with all due respect. Talk about, no. Sometimes sports shows might be fun that way. It's kind of like yelling, getting drunk and all that. But this is, no, it's all changed. It's all changed drastically. It's drastically. You are seeing a revolution right now that the likes of it you cannot see. You can't believe this. And what's happening is that people are becoming more and more withdrawn and more secluded. And that's the problem. And we are in the middle of seeing things that are so frightening. Let me tell you something else I saw, which is interesting. I want to share this one with you. And I'm always noticing, I'm always trying my best to notice things. Bring them to your attention. Bring them to your, way of thinking, as it were. I'm always trying to notice something. Okay? We've been seeing more and more. I don't know about you. Do you find folks have marijuana shops in your town? Weed shops where you go in and you can. By the way, I happened to be in a store the other day and they have that hottest potato chip thing. I haven't tried that yet, but all these warnings. This is the hottest potato chip. Warning, and they're being sold there. Anyway, but they have potato chips you can buy that's laced in weed or oil or something. But do you have those in your Silver Fox? Do you notice what I notice, what I see? Look at this. Jason says 2 on every block. Yeah. Do you notice that there's nobody in there? Mrs. Elbow brought that up. There's nobody in there. They've got these things, but there's I never see anybody in these stores buying the weed, buying the stuff. And I don't see it. And I don't understand. It might be a myth. And what's funny about this is the best part. From what I've read, I don't know about this firsthand, but from what I've read, in the 70s and 80s, and the proliferation of seeds and how they would send seeds, and the great growers would produce a variety of cannabis flavors and smells and tastes and potency. It didn't kill you. It made people laugh and get the munchies and watch cartoons and just feel really mellow, not whacked out, gooned. Nobody would ever dare eating anything. There were no such thing as edibles, because even with brownies, That's not good because that's not a high you want because you have no way of dosing it. Not only that, there were variations and there were flavors like wine. You don't want to buy one kind of wine because it's packed with more alcohol. They like, a Pinot Noir versus a Rosé, a Cabernet. The difference. They don't even get this right. This isn't going to work. This is not weed. The culture is lost. The remember High Times? They had a centerfold, and they would talk about with such intricate detail as to but this is all gone. So anyway, what we're noticing now, this is interesting. We have, for the first time, and I told you in my 65 years, I've never seen people with needles. Never. And we got people, one guy, I passed out, he's got in his hand 3 or 4 needles. Nobody's going to steal these needles from him, I promise you. And one guy he was going between his toes. I thought, they really do that? I'm watching this. And the police come and they get rid of him and they come back and then whatever. Guess who they are? And I'm noticing over and over and over, guess who they are? White, young, I would say almost maybe millennials, sort of, a little bit older. I don't know. It's hard to say because some of them are so methed out and so, I don't know, they're so haggard, Merrill haggard, as Dan Rather would say. White, all white. Jason said they look like zombies. It's so sad, devoid, hollowed out shells of humanity, devoid of any, it's sad but disgusting. And I don't like them, and I don't want to see them, and I think they're a health hazard, especially they're spurting blood, and get out of here. I'm sorry. I wish them all the best, just not here. Get out. Go someplace else. I don't have to see this. I make no bones about that. I don't have to like you. I don't have to like your drugs, like your dope, or any of this other stuff. Get the hell out of here. But I'm seeing this. Not black folks. Not black folks. You know who were the workers? You know who were the hardest workers? You know who we're doing? We have Fresh Direct and we have these depots around here. And for Amazon and Whole Foods, black young men for the most part. Women do for the most part, but without a doubt. All hours of the day, working their ass off, taking these special bikes they have where they pull these carts of deliveries, and you see nothing but delivery. And by the way, you see scooters and crazy. It looks like Beijing on a rush hour, but you see nothing but nothing. Black. I don't know if they're African American. Could be African. I have no idea. That's what you see. But the druggies, the ones bombed out, white young people. They look like, isn't that something? Where are they from? They're not from around these parts. They're not from around here. I can tell. Why are they dropped off here? Where are they coming from? I'd love to find out. Where in the hell, where did you come from? All of a sudden, I haven't seen you in 30 years. Now, here you are. Where'd you come from? Who's sending you here? Where'd you get your dope? How do you get your dope? How do you buy this stuff? You don't work. You don't do anything. Where are you from? What did you do? And they all hang around and they're just pathetic. And I don't even know if they like each other or if it's almost like a modified family. But they are there is screwed up, there's effed up, and then there's this. It's on another planet. And they're going, now, everybody says, with the fentanyl, these people aren't overdosing. I'm glad. I don't want anybody to die. I want to go on the record with that. But where are they coming from? Where did they come from? If you ask them, where are you from? You born in New York? No. What are you doing here? How'd you end up on Park Avenue? What? What do you do? Where do you go? Do you ever bathe? If I don't bathe in one day, I lose my mind. I go crazy. I've got to bathe every day. Every day. I'll go nuts. The worst part sometimes, sometimes when you're sick and you're in bed, it's like, you take a shower or take a bath. I'm a shower guy. I can't do the bath. You just feel terrific. You feel so much better. These people haven't bathed in, I don't even know. And God knows what else they do. Where does this guy who can't stand up, where does he go to relieve himself? Where? This is a health hazard. Where are they from? I don't remember these people before until right after January the 20th, 2021. Then the dam broke. When the levee breaks. Do you see what's happening? And it's getting worse than anything you can imagine. Let me ask you something. Do you realize that we live in a time right now where we could say literally anything? I was standing in a checkout the other day, and this guy, two guys younger, goes, "Hey man, I'm going to the party literally like this." And I wanted so much to say, no, you could have just said, "I'm going like this." The literally is superfluous. It's I don't know why you even had to specify that. But in any event, what is happening? I could tell you anything and you'd believe me. You would believe me. You would say, you know what? I believe that. I made that up. Oh, so there's animal sacrifice in the corner of 38. Oh, really? Oh, I made that up. Oh, okay. I saw these people, basically crucifying a poodle with a. Oh. And the demographics of this, dude, they don't. And here's the best part. When something bad happens, you forget about it. We've forgotten about Lahaina. Shame on us. And this president wants nothing to do with it. They told him, don't say anything about it. Just keep talking and just pretend. No half-mast, no nothing. Well, my friends, that's where we are right now. Sorry to tell you about this. Let me also remind you of a couple of things. You know, I remember years ago, I was on a radio, I was on WABC. And they came to me and they said, "We want you to sell this thing." I said, "What is it?" It was called Collage. And it was a CDs with a mask, like a sleeping mask. And it was music to relax by or something. I said, "What am I going to do with it?" He said, "Do what you want to do." I said, "Okay." So I came on and I said, "Tonight, when you come home from work, instead of doing something rash, instead of getting inebriated to the point of no return, just sit back and put on Collage." And I'd play it, and they went, and people loved it. They sold. I did a water filter. I sold more of those things than Stern did. This water filter. And it was always tough to find out, like, well, what's the angle? Here's the easiest one. Food. Emergency food. There's going to be a disaster. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. You're going to say, is the Costco closed? Yes. Uh-oh. Well, let's go over here. What are all these people doing? They're like you. Well, it's just a little supply chain. Tell these people that. I'll never forget. Remember when we had a toilet paper run on COVID? What did toilet paper have to do with COVID? I still don't understand it. Empty. You couldn't find toilet paper. They had pictures of Costco and Sam's Club, and hey, don't take all that toilet paper. I'm taking it. People, and today, food wars, Hunger Games, they will kill you. They will kill you. That's why if you go to preparewithlionel.com, when you get the food that you order, it's not marked. Isn't that something? I swear to God. Free delivery. So preparewithlionel.com. Just go through this and look. And ask yourself, how much of this do we buy? How much do we store? This isn't a luxury. This is like, do we really need this, honey? We got this garage. We've got a canoe in here. I got old bikes, and I don't even know what the hell that thing is. I don't think we have any room for emergency food. Yes, you do. So that's it. Preparewithlionel.com. And also, dear friends, remember, please follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors on X. I mean that sincerely. Don't forget the lionelmedia.com subscription for the good stuff. We get to talk about this. And don't forget to make sure you are always notified. And I always say to you, it's important. You got to subscribe to this. Subscribe. And also remember, please be with us tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be the day. I want to invite you to a public celebration of 65 years of my birth. And I expect you to be there. We'll have 2 performances, 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. This only comes once in a lifetime. I think David Byrne said it best. All right, dear friends, we will see you then. Have a great and a glorious day. Don't wait. Oh, I forgot something here. Melissa says, happy birthday to a real gentleman and a scholar. Coffee is on me. Are you not? Hang on. Is this not the sweetest thing in the world? Where is she? There we go. There we go. Melissa Petrovic. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you indeed. Isn't it funny? We say $10 for coffee? Yeah, today. Yeah. Did you ever think that? In any event, thank you. You're a menschet, as we say. All right, dear friends. We will see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Be there. And don't forget these final words. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Ta-ta.